טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. Hine ma tov u'ma na'im shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'ma na'im shevet achim gam yachad. Near the village, the peaceful village, the lion sleeps tonight. Near the village, the peaceful village, the lion sleeps tonight. Hine ma tov u'ma na'im shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'ma na'im shevet achim gam yachad. Away. Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and welcome to our annual Unicorn Shabbat for Parshat Noach. And tomorrow morning, of course, we'll do our blessing of the animals at the synagogue for those who are able to come and bring their pets and with their masks and their own chairs and everything, and we'll have a lovely time. So I tried to post this on the Facebook. I don't know if it worked. I don't know how to share a PDF online, but I'm using this tonight, so not the regular book. If you aren't able to follow along with it, just, sit back and enjoy the ride. All right, we're going to start, of course, with lighting our Shabbat candles. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who sanctifies us with the commandments and commands us to light the Shabbat candles. Rabba Bar Chana said, I saw a certain frog that was the size of the city of Hegronia. And how big is the city of Hegronia? 60 houses. A snake came and swallowed it, and then a raven came and swallowed the snake. It flew up and sat on a tree. Consider how strong that tree was. Rav Papa Bar Shmuel said, if I had not been there myself, I would not have believed it. And that tree was so strong because it was the tree of life. Eitz Chaim hi lemachzikim ba v'tomchei ha'meushar. Eitz Chaim hi lemachzikim ba v'tomchei ha'meushar. Shalom, 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 shalom. It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. Shalom, 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 shalom. On seeing the small-scale wonders of nature, such as beautiful trees, animals, and people, we recite this blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shekacha lo ba'almo. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who has created such things as this. So now we've set our tone for this service, which you can tell already is very serious. And so now we are ready for the call to worship, the Baruch Hu. Let me try that again. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים אלוהיכם, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Now, tomorrow, we will bless all of the animals that are. But tonight is about thinking about the animals that could be, or might have been. And maybe they didn't survive the flood. One fine day while sailing in the sea, 3 Israeli fishermen on the Sea of Galilee hauled in their nets, and much to their surprise, out popped a giant head with 2 enormous shining eyes. Levi, the Leviathan, swimming in the Sea of Galilee. Levi wonders where his friends all went. Ever since the day they left, sad is he. Where could my companions be? I've been searching high and low since 1600 BCE. Have you seen my friend the behemoth? I must have told him 100 times, don't claw sticking up from the sill. Here I swim, an orphan of the sea. So why don't you take your nets away and let me paddle peacefully? Up splashed his tail and washed the boat ashore, and the 3 Israeli fishermen will see them sail the Galilee no more. Levi, Levi, little Leviathan, swimming in the Sea of Galilee. Levi wonders where his friends all went. Ever since the day they left, sad is he. Levi, Levi, the Leviathan, swimming in the Sea of Galilee. So only the first verse has the tabs on it, so it was a little hard to follow the lyrics and the notes at the same time. And also, behold, this beautiful piece of art of the behemoth, Levi the Leviathan's friend. I don't know if you can see it. So the behemoth, there were 3 giant creatures, primordial creatures that are no more. One is Levi, the Leviathan, the giant fish that swims in the sea. 2 were created at creation, and then one is slaughtered for some reason that I don't quite remember why in the legends of the Jews. And the other one, the one that's remaining, will be the feast for the righteous in the world to come. Fishy. Jews have always been about those smoked fish brunches, The other one is the behemoth, who is, a giant land creature of some sort, and now he has gone and hid in a cave somewhere until the end of days. And the third is the Zuz, which is a giant bird who resides in some mountains now, waiting again for the end of days to rise again. So they all were created at the beginning of time, and then they went into hiding pretty quickly, and if we ever see them again, we're in big trouble. Or not, I guess. I mean, if you're looking forward to the end of days, then maybe go fishing in the Sea of Galilee and see if you find Levi. Okay, another creature, which is not as ancient in Jewish legends, I guess, but also possibly a Jewish cryptid, is the mermaid. So, of course, Leviticus tells us that, when it gives us kosher laws, it says, everything that does not have fins and scales in the seas and in the streams, from all that swarms in the water, from all the living souls, nefesh hachaya, in the water, they are an abomination to you. Don't eat them. So the Sifra, which is a early medieval book of Midrash, says that nefesh hachaya had to mean more than just the fish. This soul of this living soul. So it had to mean something more human. And they suggest perhaps mermaids. Mermaids are not kosher. So there you go. And who knows, maybe the mermaids swam in the Sea of Reeds and leapt between the sides of the split sea as our people danced to freedom. מלכותך ראו בניך בוקע ים לפני משה זאלי ענו ויאמרו אדוני אם לא חלם בעת מי כמוך פעלים אדוני מי כמוך נדר בקודש נורא תהילות תוסף אלה נורא תהילות תוסף אלה ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. And we do come now to our central set of blessings, the Amidah. So I don't know if you, again, you might not have the words in front of you, but feel free to rise and face east and prepare yourself for these words of blessing, honoring our ancestors, the strength of God and God's holiness on this lovely Shabbat. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Eternal God, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor V'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei Hakol V'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני בחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם מקלקל חיים בחסד מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים סומך נופלים ורופא חולים ומתיר אסורים ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומגדול מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה הכל אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. Now, this is Unicorn Shabbat, and I haven't mentioned unicorns even once. Well, here it comes. Keresh, your horn of radiant light. The Keresh is the stag of the heavenly forest. The tigress is the lion of the heavenly forest. That comes from the Babylonian Talmud, Hulin 59b. So at the end of the book of Job, he gets new kids, and in a biblical first, only the daughters get names. Some think that Keren Hapuach is a terrible name to give a child, but that might be only if you translate it as the horn of eye paint, and not inverted horn. Why is that any better, you ask? Let's turn to Rabbi Gershom Winkler of the mid-20th century to tell us about the Kabbalah of the unicorn. Unlike the horn of the buffalo or the antelope, the horn of the unicorn is more of a ray, which shares the same word in Hebrew as horn, keren. as in a ray of light. It is used that way to describe the light that radiated off the face of Moses when he returned from his second lengthy vision quest on Mount Sinai. The horn of the Keresh is a single ray of light emanating from its head, comprised of diverse energies of mind, of thoughts, of feelings, radiating forth from the physical realm toward transcendence. This is the inverse of the nature of the ray of light that would ordinarily emanate from above. Keren Hapuach, the inverted light, the divine light originating from within to beyond, from creation to God. This is a teaching, Rabbi Gershom Winkler says, not to splinter our sense of self, but rather to center from our deepest core toward the highest heights via a single horn, like the unicorn. And now I invite you to meditate on this thought as we take a moment for silent prayer. Yehiyu l'ratzon imrefi v'hagyon libi lefanecha Adonai tzuri Adonai tzuri v'go'ali May the words of our mouths and the meditations of our hearts be acceptable to you, Adonai, our rock and redeemer. I just realized I forgot to during our mermaid song, I forgot to show you the art of the Siddur of that one. See, there's a Jewish mermaid. And on this page, a Jewish unicorn. In his despair, Job cries, I would say, in my nest I shall expire, and as the whole increase my days. Now Rambam, that's Maimonides, decided that whole should mean what it means everywhere else, sand. But why pass up such a poetic opportunity to peek into that nest and find the classic myth of the phoenix? And once you give a rabbi a firebird, they'll want to explain how it got its rejuvenation, or rejuvenation in our case. Get it? J-E-W? Yeah, okay. Eve fed the fruit of the tree of knowledge to the beasts and the animals and the birds. They all listened to her except for one bird, and its name was Hol. That's from Bereshit Rabbah. So with regard to the Avarshina, which Rashi explains is the Hol, the bird, Noah found it lying in its compartment on the side of the ark. He said to the bird, do you not want food? The bird said to him, I saw that you were busy, and I said I would not trouble you by requesting food. The Hol is a Jewish mother. Noah said to the bird, may it be God's will that you shall not die. As it is said, I shall die in my nest, and I shall multiply my days as Hol, as the phoenix. Of course, this idea that Noah would quote Job, slightly troubling in that Noah is the second primary person in the book of Torah, and Job comes much later in Tanakh, although I guess we don't know where he comes chronologically in history. So there's, I don't know how Noah knew to quote Job, but I do invoke the Phoenix here in our service as we consider those in pain and seek blessing for their renewal. If they are not renewed, then may they gain knowledge that they can pass peacefully in their nest. And so at this time, we say our Mishabera. As I read the names on my list, please share in the chat if you have other names for those whom you are praying for healing. Mary Kennedy, Rosalind Cantu, Mike Haug, Lori Perry, and Carl Perry. Nick Joliot, Bernard Strassner, Ariel Batsluva, Rhoda Wessler, Marion Finkel, Skip, Kathy, and Jeffrey Brace, Rhonda Butler, Ricky Grant, Tom Foyt, Michael Ben-Panima, Neil Slater, Michelle Young, Lou Boucher, Shoshana Bat Abraham, Minna Dornfeld, Michael Kumakawa, Neil Savage, Joey Jones, Juliette Origi, Sharon Kolb, Leslie White, Shirley Kronig, John and Winnie Cruel, Ann Cohen, Jeff Rosen, Charlotte Birch, and Jim Criscio. And let us say Amen. Mishabera imotenu Mikor habracha la'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. Now you may have heard of the Dybbuk, a malicious spirit who cleaves to the subjects of folklore until it is excised. But I have just learned it has a beneficent counterpart, the Ibur, a righteous soul who shares our body for a fleeting moment to perform a mitzvah. Rabbi Andrew Hahn, a contemporary rabbi, also known as the Kirtan rabbi, shared a meditation from one of his teachers. When one says the Kaddish Yatom, the mourner's Kaddish, it is not you who says the word. Rather, the one who you say it for, they announce their wonderful condition through your mouth, that they are at peace. Whose Ibor do you share your soul with tonight? So as I read the names on our list of all the Iborim that we call forward, feel free to share in the chat those whom you are saying a mourner's Kaddish for as well. This week marks a yahrzeit for Morris Rosen, Joseph Bormel, Paul Browner, Judith Aronson, Ethel Hallam, and Jack O'Neill. And we are still within the year of mourning for Nancy Hollowitz, Roland Laramie, Mindy Ferenz, Moishe Deutsch, Douglas Miguel Rodriguez, Bob Katz, Roger Haug, Paula Cooper, Ernie Weissman, Doris Oleski, Sandra Lenag, David Avery, Art Rich, Jason Brown, Louis Petrozello, Gary Lines, John DiNicola, Arizona Breeding, Fran Verona, Rick Grossman, Ara Alva Leon, Sharon Buell, Mona Mandel, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Mourners and those who wish to join them may rise for the Mourners Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach yirteh v'yamlich malchuteh, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'v'zman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'almei almayah. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shemei d'kudesha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush b'chata v'nechemata da'amiran ba'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru. Amen. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. V'imru. Amen. We turn now toward our final traditional prayer of this service, the Aleinu. I invite you to prepare yourself for this blessing as we acknowledge that it is upon us to proclaim the greatness of the Creator and all of their creations on this beautiful earth. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. All right. Tachash. Okay, I love the Tachash. So Exodus says, "You shall make a covering for the tabernacle of ram skins dyed red for the tent, and a covering of tachash skins above that. Rabbi Yehuda said there was a large kosher animal in the wilderness, and it had a single horn in its forehead, and its skin was 6 colors, from the Aramaic translation of tachash into saskavna, because it glistened and rejoiced in its many colors. They took it and they made tapestries from it. Rabbi Nehemiah said it was a miraculous act, created at creation for the moment and hidden after the moment. Often, tachash is translated as dolphin skins. Truthfully, a rainbow unicorn makes about as much sense for building a roaming desert sanctuary as dolphin skins. And there's our tachash, our rainbow unicorn, and the priests, the tabernacle blueprints with him. Now, before we do our closing song, which is, of course, The Unicorn by Shel Silverstein, or, made famous by the Roving Dovers. Is that the right name of the Irish band that made the song? The poem is by Shel Silverstein, though. But before we get there, let's do some announcements and Motzi and Kiddush. Sorry. All right, so announcements. As I said, tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. at the synagogue, wear a mask, bring your own chair, bring your own pet or pictures of pets for us to bless. We will say a blessing for our healthy, living, thriving furry loved ones. We will say a blessing of healing for any furry loved ones that are ailing, and we will say a blessing for those that we miss. Sunday, there is religious school, but not at the building. Irish Rovers is the band that sings the unicorn song. Okay, thank you. So Sunday morning, we're due for our parent breakfast program, and since communal food is a bad idea right now, we're going to do an online home cooking class. So religious school families, join me on Zoom. The link went out. The recipe went out that we're going to make together on Sunday morning. So you can get the ingredients if you need to tomorrow. And that's at 10 a.m. Since it's just cooking class and we're online, we're not going to go the full 2.5 hours. So join me at 10 and we'll cook together and we'll do some tefillah, and then that's it. Let's see. And then Wednesday is book club at 10:30 a.m. on Zoom. We read The Hired Girl this month, so join us if you'd like to discuss it, or email me or Debbie if you need more information, and join our book club. It's a lot of fun. Thursday at noon is Torah study, and next Friday is a regular Shabbat at 7:30, but next Saturday, we have an afternoon bar mitzvah of Preston McKenzie. So there will be a Zoom link if it hasn't already gone out. You can join us for like a Shabbat Mincha service on Zoom and watch our latest young adult read from the Torah for the first time publicly. So join us for that. And then next Sunday is our special membership meeting. So a few things happening over the next week and a half. So stay tuned and join us. All right. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Amen. L'chaim. I made a pumpkin challah today, and the recipe called for less flour than the one I usually make. So I thought I didn't need to split it in half. And you can see how that turned out for me. It's huge. So here we go. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. L'chaim. Mm-hmm. Could use more cinnamon. Oh well. Thank you, Julia. It is a beautiful challah. It's nice and fluffy. I guess less flour to yeast ratio, like more yeast to the because there was less flour for the same amount of yeast, or the extra dampness of the canned pumpkin. I don't know. Very good. All right. The unicorn song. If you don't have the words in front of you, you for sure at least know the chorus. Even if you don't know what I'm talking about right now, when you hear it, you for sure will. Now, a long time ago, when the earth was still green, there were more kinds of animals than you've ever seen. They'd run around free while the earth was being born. The loveliest of all was the unicorn. There were green alligators and long-necked geese, some humpty-back camels and some chimpanzees, some rats and cats and elephants, but sure as you're born, the loveliest of all was the unicorn. Now God had seen some sinning and it gave him pain. And he said, stand back, I'm gonna make it rain. He said, hey brother Noah, I'll tell you what to do. Build me a floating zoo and take some green alligators and long-necked geese, some humpty-back camels and some chimpanzees, some cats and rats and elephants, but sure as you're born, don't you forget my unicorn. Old Noah was there to answer the call. He finished up making the ark just as the rain started falling. He marched the animals on 2 by 2, and he called out as they went through, hey Lord, I got your green alligators and long-necked geese, some humpty-back camels and some chimpanzees, some cats and rats and elephants, but Lord, I'm so forlorn, I can't see no unicorns. Old Noah looked out into the driving rain. Them unicorns was hiding playing silly games, kicking and a-splashing while the rain was pouring. All them silly unicorns. There were green alligators and long-necked geese, some humpty-back camels and some chimpanzees, some cats and rats and elephants, but Noah cried, close the door, 'cause the rain is pouring. We just can't wait for the unicorns. The ark started moving, it drifted with the tide. Then unicorns looked up from the rock and they cried. The waters came down and sort of floated them away. And that's why you'll never see a unicorn to this very day. But you'll see some green alligators and long-necked geese, some humpty-back camels and some chimpanzees, some cats and rats and elephants, but sure as you're born, you're never gonna see no unicorns. Poor unicorns. Well, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I hope you enjoyed our special Unicorn Shabbat, and I hope I'll see some of you tomorrow morning for our blessing of the animals. Have a great, restful, wonderful Shabbat, and I'll see you next week.